Welcome to the PM Pulse, your project management edge. Continuing the series PMP in Practice, launching your PMP journey in 2025. Subscribe to the channel hosted by Archana Chaudhary and Palak Shah. In this video, learn about PMP exam format, question patterns.
Today, what we are going to dive is all about different type of exam questions, what you will encounter when preparing for this certification. It's understanding these question types and their nuances will help you to approach the exam with confidence. I have broken it down here on different kinds or types, I would call it. The very first is the situational or the scenario based question. This is the majority of questions, the what you will see during your exam. So these present a long story with detailed context, often ending with what should the project manager do next. These test your judgment and your leadership and ability to apply the project management principle. The tip over here is always prioritize people, focus on teams and stakeholders first, and then eliminate extreme or any kind of punitive options that are rarely correct. So you may eliminate that and choose proactive actions over the reactive ones to demonstrate leadership. So these are kind of all situation and behavioral stuffs what you will keep seeing, and then you will be asked what exactly should be done next on this. The second kind of what you will see in the exam is agile and hybrid questions. It is about focusing on agile roles like scrum masters, product owners, or the team. These emphasize servant leadership, agile ceremonies, backlog refinement, hybrid questions involving blending of predictive and agile practice. Tip is select answers that highlight collaboration, adaptability, and delivering the value. You need to remember in Agile, the project manager facilitates rather than commanding and empowering the team to succeed. The next one, which is predictive and process based question, this is used to test your knowledge of activity sequences, like what comes after creating the work breakdown structure. They also cover change control, the baseline, and risk responses. Tip is follow the logical process flow: initiate, plan, execute, monitor, closing. We will go through this in our next classes and study groups where we will talk on these flows. Always consider where you are in project life cycle to pick the right answer. The next slide, Palak, we will talk about knowledge direct recall questions. Though this is less common, this is very rare what you see this kind of question. It will focus on your definition, direct formulas or inputs, tools, techniques, ITOs. So we say do not learn but understand the entire course. How many example is how many communication channels are there with 10 stakeholders, so tip is do memorize key formula like earned value management's communication channel and the other formulas. For ITTOs, don't overstudy every detail, focus on understanding the purpose and flow. The matching and drag and drop, interesting. This is an interesting pair principle answer scenarios where you may use your flashcards or group quizzes to master these kind of questions, practicing in hands-on formats and then reinforcing them connections between the concepts and their application. And the last kind of question what you would see is graph and exhibit based questions. It is all about S graph or control charts or earned value graphs, and you take a moment to carefully interpret the graph before you answer, and then pay close attention to access labels, etc., and then try to understand and do not misinterpret the data. By understanding these kind of questions and practicing the tips, you may be well equipped to tackle this kind of exam. And if you have any question, do definitely text us here in this group. We will go through your questions as well.
Okay,
Palak, over
we
you.
are ready to, yes, move on to the next slide here. We'll go over a couple practice questions and we'll learn how to solve, which tips to use to come up with the best answer. Okay, so this first question is a brief scenario-based question, and let's find out which method is it, waterfall, agile, or hybrid. Okay, so the question is, a project team is working with fixed milestones while delivering features in short iterations. Which two practices best support this approach? Select two. Okay, so first one is use sprint reviews to gather stakeholder feedback regularly. B, finalize all requirements before initiating development. C, align milestone dates with iterative delivery checkpoints. And D, limit team communication to formal status reports. Okay, so take your time to decide which are the best answers here. Okay, so let's go here. A is the correct answer and C. Okay, any question? Yes. Okay, let's continue with the next one. So here we have the direct knowledge check question type. Okay, which document is typically finalized before execution begins in a traditional project lifecycle? A, sprint backlog, B, risk register, C, project scope statement, or D, daily stand-up notes? Okay. So feel free to discuss. Correct answer is C, and I see most of other people also selected that. Okay, so yeah, good. You are getting there. And here it was not mentioned, select one or two. So of course, we just need to select one. All right, and here another drag and drop style question. So this question is about graphic exhibit type. You can see the graph of earned value management, cost versus time. And you see the three values there, planned value, PV, actual cost, AC, and earned value, EV. So the numbers values provided for each of those, PV is 40,000, EV is 35,000, and AC is 38,000. So we need to match the correct terms for the project status, whether this project is on schedule and on budget or behind, ahead or under, over, whatever. So we need to figure it out here. So take your time to decide. If you are completely new to this topic, I understand. It will not be that simple for you to come up with the answer, but just case right now. But if you have studied this part, then yeah, you can definitely try to get the correct answer. And we'll be covering all these formulas and everything in our upcoming sessions. So we'll deep dive. We had already done one session only on value management. So schedule is mostly ahead or behind, and budget is under or over. That should be clear to you, right? In real exam, we will have about 1 to 1.5 minutes, right? So if you can solve it just by looking at the graph, you might not need to do any calculation there, or you might not even have time to do that, right? And
Okay.
yes, and usually PMP exam, they do not go too much into the calculation here. So here, let's see. PV, it's for scheduled, okay, for planned value, and it is higher than the earned value. So how much work is completed so far based on the planned value, it's actually lower. That means the project is behind, right? And the actual cost, the money spent so far on the project is actually higher than what was actually done. Okay. So actual cost, if it's higher than the earned value, then it's over budget. Okay. So let me go to the actual answer here. EV, if EV is less than PV, earned value is below planned value, then it's behind schedule. Okay, and if AC is greater than EV, then it's over budget.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is an important concept. So this kind of question is a very important concept.
Yeah, and that's why they have given you the graph. So just by looking at the graph, you can come up with the answer. Okay, so here I will put, say it will be over budget and behind schedule. Okay, right. Actual cost is for budget and the planned value is for schedule. And we are comparing both against earned value. Okay, so that's the concept. All right, hope that was useful. And you learned some tricks here. Connect with us on LinkedIn and especially make sure to join our LinkedIn group. Here is the barcode again.
Thank you. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and turn on the bell icon to stay tuned with the Project Management Pulse of Profession.